never made it, but I know what it takes. I'm motivated by a mix of emotion. Got my statement, and I'm reading it slow so I can understand it fully. Appreciate my standing, go out of this world and right on time. Oh, never in my life have I seen the sky light up like this. I'm far away from Earth and I wanna know if you exist. Mission control, do you read me? Send me my coordinates lately. Mission control, am I drifting? Tie me to someone who will love me, yeah. Wait, I think I'll last a bit longer. Find another.
Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Wherever you are, whatever you may be doing, thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd Family a part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. It's a Friday, so we're right around the corner from another weekend, which is good for all of us college football lovers out there, because every weekend that goes by, we are one weekend closer to the start of a college football season. And today here on the channel, we're going to be doing another quick preview of a team. And I picked this team because they have a very intriguing schedule. So I figure since they had a very intriguing schedule, in my opinion, I would go ahead and talk about them today here on the channel. And I believe, if memory serves me correctly, this is the first Big 12 team that I've talked about this offseason as far as giving a schedule preview, and that is the Mountaineers of West Virginia. Now, of course, since they play in the Big 12, unlike the ACC and the SEC, they don't play 8 conference games. They play 9 conference games, and they have 3 non-conference games. The Big 12 and the Big 10 and the Pac-12 play 9 conference games, and the ACC and the SEC play 8 conference games. Of course, all that might be changing here in the very near future when we finish all this realignment talk. We'll have to wait and see about that, because some people say that the SEC will go to a 9-game conference schedule, and some say it will remain 8. So I don't think anybody knows as of right now. But anyway, on to West Virginia. And I'm going to tell you very quickly why they have a very intriguing schedule to me. First of all, they have 3 or 4 Thursday night games this year, which is good, because Thursday night football in college used to be a big deal. And it's still a big deal as far as there are games on, but not the kind of games you used to see on Thursday night. It used to be a lot of times Thursday nights would be one of the marquee matchups of the entire weekend. But the past 4 or 5 years, with the popularity of the Thursday night NFL game, the college Thursday night game has still been there. It's still been on, but it's typically been bottom of the barrel teams in the bottom of the barrel conferences, and it's games that nobody will watch because they don't want to compete with the NFL, because they know that most people are going to watch the NFL. So it makes college football look bad when you put on a Thursday night game showcasing 2 top 10 teams, and the ratings are flat out awful because the NFL game was on. It used to be the Thursday night NFL game was only on the NFL Network, so it would always be the trashiest game of the entire week in the NFL, just to give those 2 teams a chance to be watched, because everybody knew if they played on Sundays, nobody would watch them. But now that the Thursday night NFL game is no longer only on NFL Network and now comes on national television, the NFL Thursday night game the last couple of years is usually one of the best, if not the best games of that week in the NFL. So the college game has suffered, but West Virginia has 3 or 4 Thursday night games this year, which is intriguing for one to see one team have that many Thursday night games, and for two, if you're a person that loves Thursday night college football to kick off your weekend a little bit early, then West Virginia being on is a whole lot better than it being some team like Kansas or somebody like that. So at least it'll be some good teams on Thursday night football this year. And they also kick off the season not only on a Thursday, but against Pittsburgh. And the reason why that's intriguing is because if you follow college football, you know that a long time ago, in the days of the Big East, Pittsburgh and West Virginia played each other every single year. But now that Pittsburgh's in the ACC and the Mountaineers are in the Big 12, they have not played since, I believe, 2011. But it's also intriguing because West Virginia's starting quarterback, at least everybody assumes starting quarterback, JT Daniels, used to play at USC. Pittsburgh's starting quarterback, Kedon Slovis, used to play at USC. And JT Daniels lost his job at USC to Kedon Slovis because of an injury. He did not struggle. If you've followed JT's career, you know when JT's played, he's put up good numbers. He just can't stay on the field, which means that more than likely the Mountaineers' backup quarterback, who's probably going to be Garrett Green, better get ready, because if history has showed us anything, it's that JT Daniels will be hurt by probably game number 4. So West Virginia opens up on that Thursday night. I believe it's the 1st of September against Pittsburgh to renew their old Big East rivalry. And then they play Kansas, and then they play Towson, and then they play Virginia Tech, and then they play Texas before heading into their bye week. Their bye week will be in week number 6. And then their schedule gets a little bit tougher when they play Baylor. And then they'll play Texas Tech, TCU, Iowa State, before wrapping up the season with Oklahoma, Kansas State, and Oklahoma State. So their schedule definitely gets tougher as the season goes on. 2 of your last 3 games are against Oklahoma and Oklahoma State, which might be 2 top 15 teams. But in my personal opinion, I have the Mountaineers going 8-4. I might be wrong, but I think they'll beat Pittsburgh in that Thursday night game. I just trust the Mountaineers' offense a little bit more than I trust Pittsburgh's offense. But it should be a very good game. But again, we can look for JT Daniels to be injured by probably week number 4. But I feel sorry for the Mountaineers coach, Neal Brown, because I personally think Neal Brown's a good coach. But for whatever reason, their fans want him out of town. They want him gone. But yet, if you look at his numbers overall, his win-loss record, he's almost neck and neck with the last head coach, Dana Holgorsen. And nobody liked Dana Holgorsen, but they gave him way too long. And now, in my opinion, they're trying to run off Neal Brown way too soon. But if they get to 8-4 this year, which is my prediction, I think he'll be fine. But I think they'll beat Pittsburgh, Kansas, Towson, and the Hokies. So they'll get off to a 4-0 start. But I think they'll lose to Texas. Then they'll lose to Baylor. Then they'll beat Texas Tech, TCU, and Iowa State, and Kansas State. So I've got them going 8-4 with losses to Texas, Baylor, Oklahoma, and Oklahoma State. And again, backup quarterback is probably going to be Garrett Green, so he better be ready because JT will get hurt sometime during the season. I think he's about as soft as Bounty toilet paper. But if they go 8-4, I think Neal Brown will be fine, and they may be better than 8-4. They may slip up and beat Texas, but I just don't think they have enough offense to beat Texas. So again, I've got the Mountaineers going 8-4 with losses to Texas, Baylor, Oklahoma, and Oklahoma State. Any thoughts on the Mountaineers' schedule or record? Please feel free to let me know. Let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. If I started a band called Ceiling, would that make people who like our music Ceiling fans? And that wraps it up for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. Bye.